Welcome to the Nottinghamshire CAMHS OCD Group. This is Session 5, Exposure, Response, Prevention. In this video, we will cover what is ERP and how does it work, top tips for how to do ERP, safety behaviours explained by The Simpsons, and home practice. ERP is an evidence-based treatment for OCD and is recommended by national guidance. ERP's aim is to help you boss back OCD and regain control rather than OCD controlling you. So, how does ERP work? It is about breaking the links between your intrusive thoughts, anxiety and compulsive behaviours. We use a hierarchy to ensure this is done in a graded way that feels more manageable for you. ERP will be challenging and anxiety-provoking, but this is necessary to overcome OCD. Next, we'll explain the anxiety curve. When we enter a situation that we are anxious about, our anxiety quickly rises. At this point, we expect our anxiety to keep on rising until something catastrophic happens. Sometimes people feel like they need to escape the situation. Some people might avoid or escape the situation. If you have OCD, you might carry out a compulsion such as hand washing, which will temporarily reduce the anxiety. However, the next time you're in that situation, your anxiety is likely to increase again because you've not had a chance to challenge your belief or learn what would have happened if you did stay in the situation. Exposure breaks the vicious cycle by gradually exposing you to feared situations that trigger your intrusive thoughts, whilst not carrying out your compulsions. The more times we expose ourselves to the feared situation, the lower our peak anxiety will be, and the quicker our anxiety will pass. Here are some top tips for ERP. The 5 conditions to exposure. Number 1. Exposure needs to be graded, so start with the easiest and work up to the hardest situations on your hierarchy. Number 2. Exposure should be prolonged. So expose yourself to the intrusive thought until your anxiety drops by at least 50%. So repeat each step on your hierarchy until it no longer makes you feel anxious. Number 4. Exposure needs to be done without distraction, so make sure you're not distracted when you're completing the exposure tasks. And finally, number 5. Exposure needs to be done without any compulsions or safety behaviours, so try and resist the urge to carry out your compulsions or to use any safety behaviours that might reduce your anxiety. So what is a safety behaviour? Safety behaviours are things we do to keep us feeling safe, but they have unintended consequences of prolonging the anxiety in the long term. Homer Simpson gives us a good example of how a safety behaviour could start.
Not a bear in sight. The Bear Patrol must be working like a charm.
That's specious reasoning, Dad.
Thank you, honey.
By your logic, I can claim that this rock keeps tigers away.
Oh, how does it work?
It doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
It's just a stupid rock.
Uh-huh.
But I don't see any tigers around here, do you?
Lisa, I want to buy your rock.
specious reasoning, Dad.
Thank you, honey.
If Homer started to carry this rock around all the time in the belief that it will help him stay safe from tigers, this would be a safety behaviour. So if you're going to use safety behaviours during ERP, it's unlikely ERP will work. For example, if you reduce your hand washing but use more soap, this will be a safety behaviour. Or you might not check the door but then increase the amount of times you're checking the windows. Or a bit like if you're holding a knife and repeating in your mind, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. That would also be a safety behaviour. Home practice. Take a step in your hierarchy and repeat it until your distress rating is at least half. Make sure you rate your SUDS before and after to monitor your anxiety during ERP exercises. Make sure you record your progress in the workbook to keep yourself motivated. Remember, you can do it, even when anxiety tells you you can't. Remember that you've got control and you can beat the OCD.